you tell them one thing. Just win, baby.
What is up, Raider Nation? I'm your host, the Small Raider, and let's get right into your Nation News. Now, it has been a crazy past couple of days for this Las Vegas Raiders organization. Heck, even our former head coach, Jon Gruden. Now, I was kind of stunned by all of these news, the reports going back and forth about a situation that happened, 10 years ago, which had me startled at the moment. I was like, yo, what? Why the hell are we talking about things that happened 10 years ago? Now, reports came out on Friday about our Raiders head coach, Jon Gruden, using a racial trope to describe NFLPA executive director DeMaurice Smith in 2011. Now, Gruden did express his frustration in an email sent to former Washington president Bruce Allen during the 2011 NFL lockout, talking about Smith, saying, DeMaurice Smith has lips the size of Michelin tires. And at the moment, when I heard about this email and all of these, sports pages talking about it, I was like, yo, why in the hell are they making a big deal about something that happened 10 years ago? Why bring it up now? And the fact that they looked at this as a racial slur, a racial trope, I thought they were hella reaching on it, because Jon Gruden was roasting DeMaurice Smith on his facial features, not the color of his skin. And heck, just because he has big lips doesn't mean that he's, African American, or he's making fun of an African American person. It could be anybody. So I thought that everybody was reaching on this and they were trying to bring us down. Gruden went on to apologize about his statement made, 10 years ago, even coming out and saying that he has no racial bone in his body. Even former, Raiders Hall of Famer Charles Woodson came forward and even vouched for Jon Gruden and said that he never caught that vibe from him playing for Jon Gruden. Now, going into the Bears game this past weekend, Jon Gruden did step aside and talk to his team about the situation and straighten things out with them, just about that one email 10 years ago. And I knew going into this game, we had to go in there and win, or else the media was going to talk about this even more and bringing up to light. And obviously, that we lost the game 20-9, and it was tough. And everybody was talking about, yo, Jon Gruden lost the locker room. Heck, some of these players didn't want to play for Jon Gruden. I thought it was all bullshit, at the time. Now, it was kind of funny to me because the NFL actually sent all of the emails to the Raiders organization on Friday, so they all got to see it. Well, at least Mark Davis and Jon Gruden. And I felt like they were going to wait for Mark Davis to make some type of move to fire him, but after the game was finished, Jon Gruden said what he had to say about the situation and moved on, and it seemed like the Raiders weren't going to even fire him or even discipline him. And then on Monday, I felt like the NFL just said, fuck it, and they just released the email out for everybody to see and get this dude Jon Gruden fired. And I honestly felt like, they had a certain agenda towards Jon Gruden. Now, I'm not saying that what Jon Gruden said was justifiable. Nonetheless, I think he should have stepped down from his role as the head coach, especially after everything that we've seen come to light. So come Monday, I'm coming from Las Vegas, a crazy weekend. It was kind of, stressful, especially watching that Raiders game. I was going to come home, talk about the game and whatnot. And then bam, New York Times releases more emails on Jon Gruden from 2011 to 2018. And it's crazy to me because at the time, Jon Gruden was working for the ESPN on Monday Night Football, not with the Raiders. But you know what? I guess his past caught up to him. Now, in those added emails that we did see on Monday, he called out the NFL commissioner, calling him a quote-unquote, maggot. I'm not going to say the word because I don't want my shit to be demonetized, but also calling him a clueless anti-football pussy. Now, that was kind of funny to me because you guys... Come on, let's all admit it. We don't like Roger Goodell. There's a lot of NFL fans out there that don't fuck with Roger Goodell like that. Heck, when he goes out there during draft time, everybody boos him because we just don't like him. So all of that, yes, he shouldn't have used that homophobic slur. That's not a good look for Jon Gruden. But the next thing that Jon Gruden did say in his email, I felt like did cross the line, especially with what's going on today. He stated that Goodell shouldn't have pressured Jeff Fisher, who was the Rams coach at the time, to draft quote-unquote queers, in reference to Michael Sam using homophobic slurs. I felt like that was something that you can't come back from, especially with cancel culture today, especially with the LGBT community or whatnot. And on top of that, you have the first openly gay player on your roster and Carl Nassib. It would have been awkward to see Jon Gruden still as the head coach of the team, playing for him and knowing what he said behind closed doors. I feel like he had to resign. He had to step down, especially with all the distractions coming his way. it wouldn't have been a good look for the Raiders. The New York Times also said Gruden in his emails criticized the hiring of women as referees and also the acceptance of players protesting for racial justice during the national anthem. And Jon Gruden also exchanged topless photos of women with Allen, one including a Washington football cheerleader. Now, I do have some type of suspicion if this is what led to Mark Boudin, our former president, to step down after 30 years in his first season with Allegiant Stadium being open. He was one of the main guys trying to push for the stadium. It was kind of weird that he stepped down as our president before the season. Maybe he knew something that we all didn't know and he just wanted to step down before all of this really arose. But that's a question that we probably might find out later on. So after all the emails came to light, Jon Gruden came out and resigned as the Raiders head coach. In his statement, he said, "I have resigned as the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I love the Raiders and do not want to be a distraction. Thank you to all the players, coaches, staff, and fans of the Raider Nation. I'm sorry, I never meant to hurt anyone." Now, our owner, Mark Davis, responded in a tweet saying, "I have accepted Jon Gruden's resignation as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders." Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to question whether Jon Gruden is going to get the rest of that $100 million contract or not, but I have seen reports that he will not get the rest of that money because he actually stepped down as our coach. He didn't get fired, so it was his decision to resign. So for us, I guess it's some type of good news. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. We don't have to pay him the rest of the money, and maybe our play calling could be a little bit better. I do believe that this was the right move for the Raiders, the right move for Jon Gruden stepping down as the head coach of the team, especially with all these emails coming to light. The only thing that I would say is the NFL needs to keep that same energy with a lot of these other owners, because I know for a damn fact, if you were to look at a lot of these owners' emails, you'll find something out there, and I know that Jon Gruden isn't the only one. I do got to give a shout out to my boy King Raider on Instagram because he made a good point about this, man. A lot of these owners have some troubled past, and they got a lot of dirt that has not been brought up to light. Heck, you look at Robert Kraft, he was involved in sex trafficking. Jerry Jones was fucking hookers and doing cocaine on the side. And there's a lot more owners out there that I know are in these emails that they didn't bring up. So I am 100% positive if they release all of those emails, they'll find much more than what Jon Gruden said out there.
All the emails Bruce Allen was receiving and sending, there's got to be more there. It can't be that Jon Gruden is the only guy. I think that it would be irresponsible for anyone in the media to look the other way. I think we all need to collectively rise up and say it is time to release all of the information.
I don't typically agree with Mike Florio, but he makes a good point here. Release all these damn emails and let's expose every owner out there and every coach out there, whoever out there, not only Jon Gruden.
Not trying to defend Jon Gruden, but I will say it's just messed up that it's only his emails, period. I mean, it seems like a hit job. Like, for you to just release his emails, you're equally as jerky as Jon Gruden then. I mean, you are. I don't know what else to say.
Now, I just read a crazy tweet from Vic Tafur that the NFL has no plans to release the Washington football team's emails after Jon Gruden's resignation, which to me is some bullshit. I honestly don't agree with anything that Gruden has said in his past, but this is definitely bullshit. How is it fair to bring up only what Jon Gruden said in those emails, in those 650,000 emails, and no one else's? It's like they wanted to find somebody to take the fall, and that's it. Just throw it all under the rug. And I know damn well if we were to see all of it, that Jon Gruden wouldn't be the only one that used homophobic and racial slurs. Not only that, I also seen a tweet from Dan Lust saying that a law firm was paid to investigate the Washington football team. We didn't see a single email from Dan Snyder and never a written report. Yet, all of Gruden's emails come out from an investigation he was not even a part of or a subject of. Strange until you remember that the owners run the league, which he makes a good point. How is it that Jon Gruden is the one taking the fall for this whole situation when Dan Snyder was the one on the fence and was getting investigated? This just shows that the NFL and Roger Goodell is a freaking puppet out there to these owners. Al Davis knew this way back, even before he passed away, that it's the Raiders versus the NFL. It always has been and it always will be. Like I said before, I do not condone what Jon Gruden has said in his past. I think it was right for the Raiders and Jon Gruden to part ways. But for the NFL, keep that same energy when it comes to things like this. So with Jon Gruden resigning as the head coach, the Las Vegas Raiders announced yesterday that Rick Bisaccia, our special teams coach, will serve as the interim head coach effective immediately. This is Bisaccia's 20th season in the NFL as a special teams coach. Now, Bisaccia has never been a head coach, but has worked under Jon Gruden from 2002 to 2008 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. After that, he's had stints with the Chargers and the Cowboys before joining the Raiders in 2018. Now, I know that the Raider Nation is going to be questioning, why did we make our special teams coordinator the interim head coach of the team when we got guys like Gus Bradley and Tom Cable, who were former head coaches back in the days. Now, I'm not too sure, but as a special teams head coach, you're dealing with the whole team, not just the offense or the defense. You're just dealing with the starters, the bench players, offensive players, defensive players, the whole 9 yards. So this could be the right move for the Raiders moving forward. There has been a good history of special teams coordinators becoming head coaches in NFL history. You look back at Mike Ditka, Bill Cowher, Bill Belichick, heck, even the Ravens head coach right now, John Harbaugh. So as of right now, I'm gonna be optimistic and see how Bisaccia works out for the rest of the season. Heck, we could go on a 10-game streak, or we could just go on a losing streak. So as of right now, I'm gonna just see what Bisaccia has and what he can do with this Raiders team. As of today, Rich Bisaccia wasted no time as head coach working out a couple of players out there like Hakeem Butler, Omar Bayless, Tony Brown, Austin Mack, Dax Raymond, Dan Skipper, Sutton Smith, Ken Webster, Earl Watford, and Bradley McDougal. Now, I don't think that this recent move will affect the team too much. The only difference would be seeing Greg Olsen calling offensive plays out there, because a lot of people have been talking about Jon Gruden being the guy calling the plays and Greg Olsen just being the yes man. But I feel like we'll finally see if Greg Olsen could be that guy on the offensive side of the ball to call plays. And heck, you got a quarterback in Derek Carr who has been under Jon Gruden, who has played under his system for the past 3 years, already knows this offense. So I do believe that Derek Carr is going to have the freedom to go out there and call plays, and Greg Olsen is just going to be overlooking that. So we'll see if this is going to be a blessing in disguise for our team or not. Everybody was calling for Jon Gruden's head, saying that his play calling was trash. So let's see if we were all right about that. Now, Gus Bradley, on the other hand, is going to stick to calling the defensive plays like he has been doing all season long, and Rich is going to continue to call the special teams plays. With that being said, a lot of Raider fans have already been looking forward to our next head coach in 2022. You guys already know we cannot hire any head coach as of right now until after the Super Bowl. That's the reason why we have Rich Bisaccia as our interim head coach. But there's been a lot of names thrown out there, and the top 5 options that a lot of people have been talking about has been the Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, Bills offensive coordinator Brian Daboll, Panthers offensive coordinator Joe Brady, Cowboys offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, and Bucks offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich. Now, out of all these options, the number one guy that a lot of Raider fans have been talking about have been Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. And I did see a tweet out there from my boy Carl that had me thinking about this. He tweeted, "Why does everyone think that Eric Bieniemy is the answer? That's Andy Reid's offense over there in Kansas City, just like it's Jon Gruden's offense here in Las Vegas." And he made a really good point and had me thinking about the situation. Like, if Eric Bieniemy just has the name of an offense coordinator over there, just like Greg Olsen does over here, then is he the right choice for the Raiders? I don't know. I want to ask you guys, Raider Nation, who would you guys want to see as our new Raiders head coach moving forward in 2022? Let me know down in the comments below. At the end of the day, my overview of this whole situation is, it just sucks that this had to happen right now. It is kind of crazy to me that we started off 3-0. We were riding high. You know, this Raiders team could not get anything wrong. Then we lose to the Chargers, and then this whole debacle comes out right before the Bears game, and we lose that game as well. And our coach, Jon Gruden, is not a part of the team anymore. I just hope that this Raiders team can go out there and overcome this whole situation and just win for the rest of the season. All right, Raider Nation, that is all I have for you guys today on this episode of Nation News. Now, I know it's a lot to take in. It was a lot for me to take in, to talk about, and even to read. But us as Raider fans, as the Raider Nation, we have got to overcome this situation and move forward. We cannot let this divide us. We just got to support this team now until the end of the season and hope for the best. Now, with all that aside, if this is the first time you're coming across my channel and you love the Las Vegas Raiders and you want daily Raider content, then hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this. Until the next video, this is your boy Samoa Raider, and your boy is
And you tell them one thing. Just win, baby.